You know, thinking about Joshua. I remember when we was preaching from Joshua and we talked about what success looked like. And success from the world and success from God is two different things, because the world's success means, a lot of money in the bank, you got that right house, that right husband, right wife, your children all graduated or whatever. But success from God's point of view is fulfilling the call on your life. Is walking in the plan that God has for you. That's why we could look at Jesus at Calvary when all the disciples forsook him and he was crucified. He was there with the thieves and yet he could say that he's completed. He said, what was his last word? It is finished. The work you gave me. That's why we could look at Paul even. When Paul was to be beheaded at Nero's chopping block, he's in prison, and yet he could say, I fought a good fight. I've finished my course. See, if we're gonna make a difference in the world, if we're gonna find fulfillment, if our life gonna count for something, we need to find God's plan for our life. We need to walk in what God has brought us here to this earth to do. You are not here by accident. Listen, the assignment on your life and the arrival of you here came together. You wouldn't be here if God didn't have an assignment. And guess what? Yes, you were created to make a difference. The world, listen, you were created to make your neighborhood, your school, your family, society better. Because God loves you and God loves his world. The Bible tells us, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. But guess what? God so loved the world, he also gave you. Find yourself in that. Find yourself and make yourself an expression of God's love to humanity. That means, now if you're walking in love, that means you're going to help. You'll be a help, not a hindrance. And I say this sometimes. Walking in love means this. To me, walking in love is thinking about how I act and what I say affects people around me. Some people don't do that. And then walking in love also means asking myself, what can I do to help the situation? My dad used to say there are three types of people: obstructive, destructive, and constructive. And he would say, you need to choose which one you want to be. Some people just in the way. They just obstructive. No matter what the plan is, they're contrary. And they so contrary, they would rather see it fail if they don't get their way. They're obstructive. Then some people are destructive. They always tearing down other people. I mean, if someone is down, why kick them? If someone is struggling, love says help. Where's the good Samaritan spirit, right? So you need to be constructive. You need to spend time building people around you. Look, you don't have to go far to see folks that need help. People all around you need help. People all around us need prayer. And so I just think that if we're going to deal with low self-esteem, that we need to find ourselves. That's what and it's a struggle. Because I'm going to tell you, I've been pastoring now for quite a few years, and I'm in my 60s. And I still at times have to remind myself that God has a plan, and that God is the Lord is the reason I'm here, and that I too struggle with self-esteem at times, and I have to remind myself, you know what? I'm created in the image of God. The image of, what's more beautiful than God? Come on, you ever heard of the beauty of holiness? You're created in the image of God, and then your failures are not who you are. That's a good one, because you learn more from your failures than from your achievements. I found this out. Now, this is something I found. I ain't saying keep on, but I've learned so much from the places that I've failed.